Hi, Father Ralph Osborne from St. Thomas. What's up with you and God these days? I paused a little bit there because I want you to not just keep watching, I'd like for you to think about it for yourselves as well. We have a special guest today, Ashli Mims, and she's going to be sharing with all of us what's up with God these days for her. And as she shares, you give her your attention. I also invite you to be attentive to the Spirit and ask yourselves these questions too. God bless.
Where is God and I at this point in my life? Honestly, this is the hardest question I've ever had to answer. I feel as if I kind of just strayed away a little bit from my relationship with God. I was always taught that you had to be the perfect Christian, going to church every Sunday, joining every committee possible, going to Bible study, always reading your Bible. And yet I still didn't find any joy out of that. I felt that I was missing a community. And honestly, 2020 was the hardest part of my life. Between not being able to do stuff that I would normally do on a daily basis, to not being able to visit friends, not being able to visit family, having to always wear a mask and disguise yourself. I wasn't fond of that at all. I felt that if I was disguising myself from a community, but also from God by just blowing up, going, oh, well, everything's going to be okay tomorrow, if I can just get through today. But unfortunately, some days it didn't feel that way. And I honestly can say, today in 2021, I'm starting to feel a little better about having to not disguise myself under a mask every other day, or not being able to go to the grocery store or hang out with a friend that you would normally hang out with. And I honestly have also learned in this last year that being the perfect Christian is not possible. There's no way to be that perfect Christian or trying to always please everyone in the church. Church is just a building. The church is in your heart. I will always be grateful for St. Thomas and the youth group that I was with. I was invited by a church member, and I can honestly say that was one of the parts that changed my life, because I felt like I belonged to a community. I didn't feel as if I was astray. I have been to many diocesan youth events, built communities there. I remember I actually still have a little horse that was given to me by my campers on my 18th birthday in 2015. He still goes everywhere I go. He's on my work backpack, and I always remember them just by the little horse. I was also grateful that in 2015 I was able to go to Washington, D.C. on a mission trip. I met the bestest friend, lifetime friend that I could ever meet. I just visited him in May, actually, and honestly, our friendship is great. We built that community together. And that's one of the things that I felt like I was missing this past year. It felt like I was just on the outside looking in. And I don't want to do that anymore, because I feel like if I want to be with God, I need to be in it 100% with Him. But yeah, I have strayed away, only because I wanted to hide my true feelings about how this year of 2020 has been. And it's been hard. I can't say I'm a perfect Christian, because I'm not, and there is no perfect Christian. There's actually a song that I was listening to on the radio the other day, and it was by an artist named NF, and it's Change. And one of the things that he says in this song is that, if I can read, I don't like when I drift from the safe zone, and I feel as if God is that safe zone for a lot of us. And sometimes we drift away from that safe zone, but yet we try to come back. And every time we come back, we feel as if there's something different about that relationship. And I can honestly say, I try to come back to that safe zone, but I know it's going to take time. And with that time, it comes different relationship with God. And the more I look into where I am going in my life, I found different types of communities. I found a community with the friends that I work with. I spend more time at work than I do at home. So I found a community at work where we all laugh, hang out, go fishing, and just truly be friends and a community at that moment. I've also have found church friends that I have not seen in probably a year because of 2020 and the pandemic. COVID sucks, but at the same time, a lot of us learn how to live with it and grow better as a person and spiritually. And that's one of the things that I am trying myself to do, is go back to that safe zone, go back to the place that I know that I belong, but at the same time, community is going to be different. We're all went through different stages this past year. Everyone has changed in some way or another. Some people might say they don't change, but I can truly say I have changed. I have steered away from that relationship that I used to have with God and that safe zone, that little hut that I felt like I mattered in, the community that I wanted to keep. And it was hard. I honestly could say we kept camp going. That was a community that made it a little easier for me to try to be like, okay, I can feel normal again. I don't have to feel as if I'm just this outsider, just been cast away or exiled from the church. I can be a normal person again. I can have that feeling of just being there. And that's one of the communities that I miss the most. It's just growing and loving everyone around me. I have lots of positive energy. I'm a very energetic person. I'm always ready to go, no matter what. But at the same time, I feel as if I strayed away from that safe zone. I want to go back. And that safe zone is always there. And the one thing I want to leave you with is Deuteronomy 4:30. And it states, when you are in distress and all these things come upon you, in the latter days you will return to the Lord, your God, and listen to his voice. I want to say thank you for your time and listening to part of my story and where my relationship with God is at the moment. Always remember that you are loved, even when you don't feel like you are, you're loved. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to say that you changed. It's okay to say that you strayed away from your relationship with God. And it's okay to say you're working on you. Don't feel like you owe anyone explanation about who you are as a person and what you're going to become. Because we're all still growing. Even to if you're 99 years old, you're still growing as a person. Age is nothing but a number. It does not make another person wiser than the other. Everyone goes through stuff, everyone needs a friend, and everyone is loved. There is always a community there for you. Even when you don't think there is, there is. Thank you again for listening to my story.